Hello! Oh no, that was bad. That was weird. Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while since I've made a sewing video, but I'm back again today and we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna make a wrap dress, which I just see these wrap dresses everywhere and I think they're so cute. I think it'll be fairly easy to make, but today is extra special because I have the help of my grandma during the beginning stages of this dress making. She's the one that taught me how to sew and she's just so cute. So without further ado, here is my grandma. Grandma, tell them a little bit about yourself.
You're kidding me right now.
My grandma.
Well, I was brought up in Portugal, and we were kind of poor, so we had to make our own clothes. Yes, when the sheets got real old in the middle, we'll take the corners that were still good, and we made our bras, we made our underwear. That's the only way we could have it. In those days, you couldn't buy that kind of stuff, and we didn't have the money anyway, so we had to do it. But Jessica's here, she's an expert.
Alright, now that you met my grandma, first we're gonna go over some things that you'll need to make a wrap dress. You should have a sewing machine. I'm using a Singer Talent, which is so amazing, especially for beginners. You will need thread, a good old pair of scissors, lots of pins and needles, and measuring tape. And lastly, I'm using about 2 yards of this cotton and polyester fabric that I found at Goodwill for 99 cents. Next, when you're sewing, it's always important to have an inspiration, a vision, something that you're working towards making. Usually I'll pick out something that I already own, or I'll just look at pictures of things that I like, and then I'll use that to, you know, create whatever I'm gonna be making. So today's inspiration will be this wrap dress from Forever 21. And if you look closely at the tie, it goes through this little hole at the top of the right side of the skirt, wraps around, and then ties on the left side. You know, let me just draw a picture real quick of what I'm thinking for today's dress. But just know that I am a terrible artist. Alright, so I'm going to draw a nice little girl with some great facial features. What is that chin? Okay, wow, this is actually, oh gosh. Wow, her head is starting to look way smaller than the rest of her body. We're just gonna give her a bigger face. No, I really regret that. The last thing we need to go over before we actually start is the pattern. Are you gonna make a pattern? Are you gonna buy a pattern? I personally love to make my own patterns. I just think it gives me the option to customize it to my own body, and it's just way more fun. So if you haven't seen my last dress sewing video, I'll link it below. So the pattern that I made in that video is also the one that I'm gonna use today, but I'm still gonna make a few changes to it because that wasn't a wrap dress that I made before, but it's going to be now. So I think that covered everything. So now we can actually begin. Let's head on over to the sewing table and we're gonna start laying the fabric out and measuring and cutting. Why does this sound so cheesy? Okay, let's just begin. So we are starting with the front bodice, and since this pattern isn't meant to be a wrap dress, we're gonna fold the pattern down and cut the neckline at a slanted angle. And the camera got blurry, but I'll show you a better angle of it later. Now for the back bodice, we are cutting a rounded neck instead of a V-neck, and we're always leaving 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on everything. Okay, moving right along. And now for the sleeves, we're leaving extra room on the sides just in case I decided to make them longer or more flared sleeves, but spoiler alert, I made them short. And lastly, for the skirt, we're just cutting whatever's left over into 2 big rectangles. I'm gonna make them into an actual skirt later. So as you can see, my grandma and I pretty much did most of the cutting, so now I'll just show you some of the things that we cut. We have 2 beautiful looking sleeves, half of the front bodice. I should move a little. The other half. Wow, this is actually looking really great. We have 2 giant rectangles for the skirt. I'm gonna fix them later. They're not gonna stay rectangles, so don't worry. Last thing, confession time. So I filmed the first part of this video like 2 weeks ago, and somehow, long story short, I ended up throwing away the back bodice piece for this dress. And I'm out of fabric. I have no more fabric of that type. So luckily I found this fabric and it looks somewhat similar, right? So I decided I'm gonna use this for the back bodice, that piece on the whole back piece. Plus then I can redo the tie and use this fabric. So then I think it'll just tie it all together. That was a pun. That was a pun. That was a freaking pun and I didn't even mean to. Okay, time to cut the waist ties. So I have my fabric folded along the bottom. So for the longer tie, I'll cut it 2.5 inches by 24 inches. So then when I unfold it, it will be 48 inches. And then the shorter tie will be 2.5 by 14 inches. Oh, the math. Okay, for the skirt, I have my 2 rectangles laying wrong sides together. And if you look at this skirt, it's separated into 4 pieces. So I'm just gonna find the middle point of the skirt and line it up perfectly with the edges of the fabric and cut. Guys, everything is done being cut, finally, and I just laid it out and it looks so good and I'm so excited. Wow, what a journey this has been, boys and girls. We just have 2 things left to do. The first one, pin everything. The second one, sew everything. So this shouldn't take very long, but it wouldn't be right to go on with this project without my grandma. So everyone, welcome back, Grandma.
That looks good. And where's your back?
Oh,
What did you do to the back?
something bad happened to the back.
Well, you have to make it dark to give you room for your bust. Otherwise, you're going to be squished in. If you don't have a dart, you don't have that room.
What if you don't have boobs?
Well, it still makes it look like you have. Yeah, it gives you a little push. You have to have that.
Put it on. Oh, I'm nervous.
Hey, it does fit.
It does?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, keep it up.
Okay, so now it is time to start sewing. What a big moment for us. So let's head on over to the sewing table, which will be this table in just a minute, and we're gonna start sewing away. Alright, I have my sewing machine threaded with navy blue thread. I'm gonna leave 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and I'm just gonna be sewing a simple straight stitch for everything, and I will always start and end with a back stitch. So I'm gonna start with the skirt. I'm kind of nervous. Alright, here I'm just sewing the 4 pieces of the skirt together, not connecting the 2 ends though. Don't make it into a circle. And remember, we need to leave a little hole for the waist tie to go through. So I left a 2-inch slit at the top right of the skirt, and I put 2 little seams on each side of it just so it doesn't fray. Next I'm gonna sew the darts in the bodice, which start in the corner and end like right about there. And it looks like this. And there is the other. Okay, now I'm gonna take the front bodice pieces and give them nice clean edges right here. So I'm just gonna give them a fold and then 1 more fold and then sew it all the way down on both sides. And I'm also gonna hem the 2 open sides of the skirt as well. I feel like I just flung a pin onto my carpet somewhere, but I can't find it. That is extremely troubling. Okay, now I'm gonna sew on the facing for the back bodice, which is just the little thing that goes along the neckline in the back. I just sewed it all the way across. Now I'm gonna just give it a little flippity flop. Did that make any sense? Look at that nice edge that we just made. Now I'm gonna sew the back bodice to the front bodice at this point at the top where they all just come together. Whew. Looking great. Now I'm gonna put the sleeves on. So all I'm gonna do is line up the shoulder points of the bodice as well as the sleeve, pin it together, and then sew it all the way around. It is now the next day and we are gonna finish this dress right now. I left off on the sleeve, so now I'm gonna sew all the way down the sleeve going down into the sides of the bodice. There and there. Oh my gosh. It's a heavy one. Looks great. A little long, but that's okay. I'm gonna hem it at the end. Next, I'm gonna attach the top of the dress to the skirt of the dress. So I'm gonna line up the middle point of the skirt with the middle point of the bodice, right sides together. I'm gonna pin it, try not to stab myself. I will sew all the way around, so then when I unfold it, it will look like that. How beautiful. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Look at this. It is starting to really look like a dress. Ah! Okay, we just have a few very small things left to do. So next I'm gonna sew the ties. I have it folded right sides together, and one end of it is straight and the other is slanted. So all I'm gonna do is sew the slanted side. Whoa, that's a tongue twister. Sew the sew the slanted side shut, and then I'm gonna sew all the way down the long piece, and then I'll leave the straight side open for now. I just heard a pin fall on my carpet. Oh. Okay, now that that's done, this part is very crucial. We have to flip the tie inside out. My grandma taught me this little trick. All you do is attach a safety pin to the closed end of the tie, and you just start feeding it through and flipping it inside out. My grandma always says, it's like making a sausage. Almost. Look at this. Oh, wait a sec. Oh no. Did I do this wrong? Okay, so it appears that the pin is stuck on the inside of the tie now. How do we get it out? I feel like I should have put the pin in before I sewed it shut. Is that how you do it? I need my grandma. I'm gonna open it, and then I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna, ow. What did I do? This is a disaster. Oh my gosh. I got the pin out. Simple as that. Okay, we're gonna move on now. We just have two things left to do. We are so close to being done. The first thing is we have to attach the waist ties. So I'm gonna attach the longer tie to the left side, my left side. Like the rain, like the coldest rain, you wash me away. Okay, I'm gonna try the dress on now and get the final measurements just so I can hem the skirt up as well as the sleeves, and then we will be completely done. All them bad decisions keep you jaded. You could have found the one, but you won't change. I mean, I really think you should. Guys, we are done. We are completely done. I'm gonna go try the dress on now and show you all what it looks like. Wow, what a day. I just want to say, if anybody's still here at the end, thank you. I commend you. Even though I made so many mistakes, I hope you learned something and I hope you had fun, because I had fun. I'm gonna go get my day started now, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye. Goodbye. My heart only beats, 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 beats for you.
No matter how I sit, it looks like I'm leaning. Why can't I sit straight?
I don't know. I think it's just these chairs.
No, it doesn't matter how I sit. It looks like I'm going one way or the other. I guess I don't know how to sit straight. I still look like I'm leaning.
Let me think, Grandma. Let me think.
Think.